Welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Evalyn. I'm a library science grad student with a focus in youth services, and today I need your help planning a story time all about ballet. So the holiday season is almost upon us, and when I think about the holidays and being a kid, I think about ballet. I fell in love with ballet when I was about 3 years old because my parents rented a DVD of The Nutcracker and we watched it as a family, and I just absolutely fell in love with the story and the art form and begged and begged and begged to be put into dance class. And I danced for about 10 years. Although I don't still dance today, it's still a big part of my life and one of my favorite art forms. And I know it's an important activity in the lives of a lot of kids, and so I was curious what ballet books and activities could I find to put together a story time. As it turns out, this year the Caldecott Award winner is a book that is in part about ballet, so this seemed like a really fitting time to showcase some ballet books in a story time. So let's get into it, starting with the aforementioned picture book, Big by Vashti Harrison. This is one of the best books I've read this year. It is such a gorgeously illustrated story about a young girl who is struggling with fat phobia that she's experiencing from the people around her. She's bigger than the other kids, and the adults treat her differently because of it. The other kids tease her, and one of the areas that is most prevalent is in her dance class. And so she is wearing this tutu and leotard for most of the story. And so ballet imagery is a very significant part of the book. And I love it because not only is it a wonderful story, it also involves very cool and creative use of the book as a physical object, which is great for promoting one of our early literacy skills, print awareness, understanding how print works on a page, but also the book as an object itself. So there are lots of things to love about Big, which I'd be opening with. And then for something just completely adorable, this is My Cat Does Ballet by Robert Headbreeder and Matt Shu. This is a very cute book about a little boy who is convinced that he has the most talented cat in the world because his cat, let's see, does ballet. Not only does this book introduce a lot of ballet terms like pas de cheval, pas de chat, en pointe, all just on this one spread, but there's actually information about some famous figures in ballet in the back of the book. Each of the kids in the story is named after a famous dancer, and there are biographies of each of them in the back of the book. I also just love the very dramatic color palette of these illustrations. It brings to mind just the most gorgeous theaters that you've ever seen with the red and the deep teal. And then last, but certainly not least in terms of stories, it's the holiday season. We're talking about ballet. I already said it. I want to share a version of the Nutcracker. So here I have two versions that I need to choose between, and you're gonna help me do that. First, we have Susan Jeffers' The Nutcracker. This is adapted to be a more picture book friendly version of the text. The original E.T.I. Hoffman short story, The Nutcracker and the Mouse King, is a little bit dense, and this is a condensed, highly illustrated version. One thing that's interesting about this that I don't know how I feel about is that at the end Marie and the prince get married. But I do like that she is Marie in this because that is her name in the original story. And these illustrations are really very lovely. You don't see a lot of this sort of hyper-realistic style anymore. And then also, some of the illustrations include images of dancing figures. So it's paying homage to the ballet history of the story. And then my other version is the Story Orchestra edition. And this is cool because it incorporates, when it's working well, Tchaikovsky's beautiful ballet score into the story. So like the other edition, it is adapted to be a little bit shorter and text-wise, more picture book friendly. And see, this is the, there we go. Each spread has a little snippet of the music. And then there's some more information about like the different songs in the back, including like what's happening on stage when the music is played, or like what type of music is it, like Act 2, the waltz is a waltz. There's also a biography of Tchaikovsky and a glossary with ballet terms. So this is definitely a great book, and it's actually part of a Story Orchestra series to get and explore at home. But these buttons, can be a little bit tricky to press through the pages, and so it might be a little bit awkward to film with, and I also have no clue if that's coming through on the camera, so we'll find out together later. So I need your help choosing between the two different versions of the story. I'm going to put a poll over on the community tab, and you can vote for which edition you think I should share in next week's story time. Should I share the Story Orchestra, The Nutcracker, illustrated by Jessica Courtney Tickle, or The Nutcracker, adapted and illustrated by Susan Jeffers? All right, we've looked at our books. Now let's turn to our activities. Because counting is a very important part of dance, I decided to incorporate it into all of the activities. So we're going to be counting to 5 a lot in this story time, starting with number of the day. Our number will be 5, and we are going to count and clap and stomp and spin our way to 5 together. Then our second activity is a rhyme called 5 Little Ballerinas. And this is one you could do with actions, or if you had one, which I do not here, you could do it with a flannel board. It's a countdown rhyme about 5 little ballerinas dancing together, and then one by one they spin, twirl, leap away until there's just one ballerina left on stage. She leaves the stage, and then there are none. I love this as a concept, but some of the words that are used in the versions I've found online I don't really love. Like, for instance, all of the ballerinas are referred to as she in the rhyme, and it talks about them wearing tutus. But not everyone who dances is a girl, and not everyone wears tutus. There are lots of different things you could wear while you're dancing. Not to mention, like, at least 3 of the ballerinas all spin off stage. So I might tweak the rhyme a little bit, and if so, I will put the new words I've come up with into the description of the video, so check them out down there. And then for our final activity, I thought it would be really fun to count to 5 with our feet. So if you're at all familiar with ballet, you may recall that there are 5 basic positions that we learn in beginner ballet classes, and I think it would be really fun to teach those as a way to practice counting to 5, because we often use hand motions to create associations, but why not use other parts of the body like the feet? All right, now that we've talked about our books and our activities, let's take a look at our Storytime map. We'll start, as always, with a welcome song. Then we'll count our way to 5 with number of the day. After that, we'll read Big by Vashti Harrison. Then we'll do our 5 Little Ballerinas rhyme. After that, we'll read My Cat Does Ballet by Robert Heidbreder and Matt Shue. Then we'll count to 5 with our feet using the 5 basic ballet positions. And finally, we will wrap it up with the Nutcracker. Which version? Well, that's up to you. Don't forget to go vote over on the community tab right now. And that's our story time. Tune in next week to see how it all turns out. I can't wait. I'm really, really excited about this one. There's always room for more people in our story circle, so if you like this video, remember to click that subscribe button. With that being said, my name is Ms. Evalyn. I've had so much fun being your almost librarian today, and I'll see you real soon. Goodbye.